Okay, so here we're going to start by going to the Greatech PowerPack connection vault. Left click on that. When the palette comes up, you come down the categories along the side until you get to the contour processing category. And in here, we're going to look at the beam to plate welded connection. This connection can be used where you have a plate and beam coming into it. So if you want to connect the two or to basically make a cut around the element that's coming into that plate, you can do that using this. So I'll just look at this from the front and we'll see. So far we have the plate and we have the beam. If I wanted to make a cut around that, I just come here, left click on that button, and it says pick the main member, which would be your plate in this case, and then your secondary member, and select that. You'll notice the minute I do that, this plate gets cut around the object that's coming into it. And then you get a dialog box that opens up that allows you to make some adjustments to that plate. The corner here was adjusted through the feature cut, but the rest of this here will be controlled from this dialog. So we have our properties, about, and that just tells us a bit about the tool, contour processing, and we can set all dimensions equal for the gaps on the bottom, top, and sides. So one side, the other side, or the top of that cut. And by adjusting this, you'll see if I come into here, I can say I want that to be, let's say, 1/2 inch. I can put that at 1/4 inch. I can put that at 1/4 inch, and you can adjust the gap that goes around it. Let me just quickly, I'll go to conceptual. You can see it comes in like that. Okay. So you end up with that gap around the shape. You also have the ability to say, do a straight cut. So if it's not straight, you can create a straight cut. Add beam shortening in here. So if you want to pull it back some more, maybe the beam wasn't already pulled back enough and you want to shorten it a bit more, you can come here and you can say how much you want to shorten it by. Just adjust the value and you can see the beam will grow or shrink as needed. You can do a corner finish in here. The corner finish may clash with the beam. It will not cut through the beam though. So you need to make sure to leave that gap around it. So if I come in here and do, for example, 1/4 inch, you can see it's creating that radius around it. Okay. And then I can also make that chamfered if I want. So if I don't want it as a radius, I want it as a chamfer, I can do that. And then I use that with my gap width, and then I can set that to whatever I want. So that way it comes in accordingly. Okay. So if I want to set my gap to be with corner finish rounded or chamfered, this is where you get the option for that. And if you want some welds in here, you can control your welds, either set them all so they're the same, or you can uncheck the all around, and then you can individually check the thickness at web, flange, or flange bottom. And then you can go ahead and adjust that way. And this allows you to set your welds as needed, and then you can choose whether they're site or workshop. When you're done, you have the option to go to library and save your settings, and that will bring in your connection again. So just a quick recap to place it in. You have a plate in place, you have your shape in place, choose the beam to plate welded connection, pick your plate. Don't need to right click, just go right ahead and pick your secondary member. It will come in and you can adjust your gaps and dimensions, corner finishes, and welds. That is the beam to plate welded connection from the Greatech PowerPack connection vault.